What ho, chaps, how the devil? I know I said I was taking a few days off, but I've just spent a couple of hours listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, something I like to do on my time off. The angry bootneck likes to relax by getting angry and listening to other people's podcasts, etc. We really have gone doolally tap at this point. I don't know how else to describe it. It's far worse than you, or 99% of people, certainly all the normies that aren't plugged into the sort of YouTube centrist, right-leaning, skeptical community, the dark web. I don't like the word, I don't like the trendy people that like the word, but you know what I'm talking about. I think it's far worse than anybody realises. And I was pulling my hair out with rage. I listened to this, flipped out and ranted to my missus for 20 minutes about it, and then thought, you know what, I'm going to sit down and make a quick video because I cannot believe just how bad things have got. This is leading on from videos I've already made discussing how Anthony Fauci is now a known liar, perjured himself in Congress, a known, proven, demonstrable liar who lied time and time again. He didn't just use medical language, he didn't use euphemisms that could be misunderstood, he just told barefaced lies. Like a man who's cheating on his spouse, and when she walks in and finds him conker deep in a high-class prostitute, says she tripped and fell on it. Like, it's as bad as that. And nobody's talked about it, nobody wants to talk about it. But what staggered me even more, because this is obviously, I knew all of that anyway, but what staggered me is, for those of you that aren't aware, I'll give you the very, very abridged version. Joe Rogan, extremely famous, very well-known podcaster, probably the most downloaded podcast in the world. He is credible. He gives a fair crack of the whip to everybody. That's why he's popular, because real life is a meritocracy and people know he's being genuine, and he gets shit wrong and he admits he's wrong and he makes mistakes and he's not the sharpest tool in the box. But he's open and he's honest and he just talks and talks and people like to listen. So he's a credible person. And Brett Weinstein, the guy who got fired from Evergreen University because the communists have got the whip hand, is a credible person. And his wife, Heather Haig, is a credible person. The Dark Horse podcast is well known. They've been well known on YouTube for years. Everybody knows who they are. People trust them because they're honest. And they are biologists. They're from a scientific background, so they know what they're talking about. They've been demonetized off YouTube, essentially, because they take that financial incentive away from people that do this for a living. So everybody's in on the fix, and I feel like I have to talk about it. And Bootneck has the advantage of not being monetized and never have been monetized. Thanks to my skeptical ways. I remember my old fellow when I left the Marines and they sent me 50 quid and said, if you cash this check, you can have 50 quid for free, but you're open to reserve service for 2 years. And my dad said, fuck him, bin the check, because when you take the money, you do as you're told. And I thought, you know what, he's right. I left angry and bitter and cynical at the way that it went down, and they got my battle brothers killed in the sands of Afghanistan because of stupidly restrictive rules of engagement that made no sense. And he was right. I'm glad I didn't take the money. And I'm glad now. So if YouTube proved me right and shut down my tin pot shitty little channel with barely any subscribers and no monetization, they will prove me right even more. But I'm taking a chance and doing it anyway because it's the right thing to do. Sorry for the rant, back to the chase. They've been mocking Joe Rogan, saying he's been taking horse dewormer, calling him a moron. Howard Stern's been calling him an idiot, talking fucking nonsense because this skinny dying rat. I mean, look at the clip of him. He already looks like he's got AIDS. Where do you go from there if you actually get it? Man barely alive there, gobbing off about someone who's clearly healthier than him. That's a weird thing. But doesn't know what he's talking about. Maybe, and you shouldn't get angry at Howard Stern, because it seems like he's just following the same bollocks that everybody else is. It's not really Howard Stern's fault. You have to put real effort in to know what's going on nowadays. If you're a normie, you've got no chance. But the short version is, he took a drug called ivermectin, right? It's been used for decades. It isn't weird. And this is something I didn't know. I knew it was in relatively normal use anyway, but I couldn't believe how far this conspiracy has gone. With Silicon Valley shutting him down, Brett Weinstein, with the media, CNN, MSNBC, the BBC, the powers that be, everybody mocking him, calling you a moron if you look for alternative therapies, when Trump is a fat old man and he took it and he got better in like 3 days. So that made me skeptical back then. But just listen how bad it is. Listen to these clear, obvious, known facts from the scientist the reputable scientist, Heather Haig.
So ivermectin, the drug that shall not be named, sure, it works against worms in horses and other organisms, but it's literally understood. It's on the WHO's list of essential medicines and has been for years. The discoverer and developer won the Nobel Prize for it in 2014-15, I can't remember. And it's literally understood to have antibacterial and antiviral qualities and works against lots of other RNA viruses like Zika and dengue and yellow fever. And no one is talking about that. So is it not as effective as some people think it is against COVID? Maybe, sure. But is it dangerous? No, it's been given hundreds of millions of doses. And is it effective? It seems so, but given that it's safe, why aren't we using it?
So that's that. I'll keep this short and I'll put the link in there. I would encourage all of you to go and listen to it. But say honest to God, it's madness. It seems to be this simple, right? I'm keeping this short. It's been used for hundreds of millions of times for decades. I've had a vaccination for yellow fever back when I was a Marine, and I was briefed about dengue fever. Harry Dengas, as we used to laughingly call it. So it's been used hundreds of millions of times over decades to treat dozens of different infections that are of a similar family as the COVID virus. It's been in use for years. It's been authorised for use by the WHO for years. We've used it millions and millions and millions of times. It's not weird. It's not strange. And Joe Rogan has been mocked 6 ways from Sunday all across the fucking world, called an idiot, Trump, moron. He was talking about it 6 months ago, moron, idiot, buffoon. He got better. Joe Rogan got better. At the very least, should we not now be thinking maybe we should test, maybe we should do some trials, see if it actually does work? Because it seems to. It fucking seems to. When some fat, saggy old bloke like Trump gets better, and lots of other high-profile people have got better, why aren't we talking about it? It seems like the conspiracy theorists are right, and the only logical conclusion is that Moderna and Pfizer and all of the big boys don't want anybody to have an alternative. It's the only thing I can think of, but this had me spitting with rage. It might work amazingly well. It isn't dangerous. The science proves it. It's been used 100 million times over decades. There is nothing controversial about anything these people are saying, and they're all being demonetized, demonized, threw off platforms, mocked roundly, and the mainstream media, just like they're ignoring the fact that Anthony Fauci is a fucking liar, nobody is interested in talking about it. We're literally living in fucking bizarro world. It is far worse than any of us realise. If you're on their team, if you're part of the big Democrat machine in the United States, if you're on their team, what they view foolishly as their team, they will back you to the hilt, and they'll always back you. And they won't fire anyone no matter how badly they fuck up, and they'll never accept responsibility, just like you'd expect from a corrupt, power-mad fucking oligarchy. They didn't fire any generals after we fucked up Afghanistan. The only person that got fired was the Marine colonel that pointed out that somebody needed to take responsibility for it, and he's the only person that got punished. And it's once again the same with this COVID. You say the right thing, but you're on the wrong team. You're scum. You're a lunatic. You're a conspiracy theorist. You should be silenced. No bank account for you. Shut off his power. Don't let him have water in his house. Shut off his bank accounts. Throw him off YouTube. Throw him off Twitter. Throw him off Google. Ban him from cyberspace. But if you say the fucking wrong thing, but you work for the right people, CNN, BBC, talk fucking shit on national television like Anthony Fucknuts. It's unbelievable. I get, you know what? I think I have to apologise to Alex Jones and Chris Thrall and anybody else who's been a fucking conspiracy theorist, because it looks like, ladies and gents, I have to eat my fucking beret. I was wrong, they were right. The world is in the fucking grip of a mass delusion, possibly ushered in by Trump. I think Donald Trump sent the world mad. But the mainstream media, the WHO, Silicon Valley, everybody who has their fucking hands, their oily hands on the purse strings of power, is not interested in reality anymore. And I say that as someone that's never been a conspiracy-minded person, always a centrist, registered Democrat, had a vaccine, I've had more vaccines than you can shake a stick at. And I am now sitting here going, fuck me, We are all being misled. The world has gone crazy. So, yep, watch the fucking pod. I implore you all, go listen to the podcast, like and share this. See if they throw me off this tin pot dog shit channel with nobody listening to it, no ad revenue, nothing. Let's see what they make of it. And if I fucking disappear, we know just how fucking deep this goes. I despair of these cunts, I really do. If this turns out in 10 years' time to be safe and effective, it is criminally fucking negligent. Anyway, that's enough ranting for one day. I am pissed off. I'm going to go and patch some of the holes in my desk. Thanks for listening, guys. I'll do a live stream tomorrow. I'll see you soon. Take it easy.